Hello there, welcome to another lesson. As you can see, this one's going to be a little bit different because I don't have my guitar in front of me, which, to be honest, makes me feel a little bit naked. It definitely doesn't feel right not having my guitar with me. However, this is an important lesson because we're going to be talking about what you need to do to warm up your hands prior to playing. Now, just like any other physical activity, whether you're running or swimming or doing something like that, it always requires, stretching and making sure that you're nice and warmed up. Guitar is no different. It's physical in the sense that we're using lots of different muscles, and we're using our hands in different ways that we're not usually using them. And so it's really important that we stretch, warm up before we start playing our guitar, especially if you feel any sort of pain or tension. Did you know that stress equals bad tone? And the reason why I say that is because when we're stressed or we're feeling tense, our shoulders are tense, our hands aren't, quite moving the way that they should be. The reason why it's affecting our tone is because it's affecting how hard we're placing our hands on the strings. It's affecting how hard we're strumming. It affects, our movement, how easily we're able to move from chord to chord. Our posture, all of those come into play, when we're looking for proper tone. We want to make sure that we're playing with ease and tension-free, as tension-free as possible. So when we are feeling any sort of pain or anything, it's good just to kind of take a step back and maybe do some stretches just to be safe. So let me show you a few warm-ups that you can use to help you, if you are feeling any tension. This first one here that we're going to do is just called, I just like to call it Shake It Off. All right, so what you're going to do is you're just going to take your hands, keep them as loose as possible, and you're just going to shake the tension away. So your hands are just nice and loose, and you're shaking it off. Any pain, any tension, if you had a bad day, this is what you're doing, just to make sure that we're nice and loose and ready to go. All right, so most warm-ups or most stretches we want to do for about 15 seconds. We don't want to overdo it. We just want to make sure that we're doing it enough just to prepare for our practice session or whatever we're going to be doing. All right, this next one, it's we're going to place our hand. It's kind of like the stop motion, telling somebody to stop. So you're going to put your hand out front like that. And you're going to take your other hand, just the top of the fingers, and you'll just kind of pull back a little bit, not too much. And again, you're going to do this for about 15 seconds. Now, you're going to feel the stretch right here on the forearm. So pull back for about 15 seconds, just enough to kind of feel stretch right here. And then you'll do the same with your other hand. So do the stop motion, pull your fingers back, and you want to make sure that you feel a little bit of a stretch right there on your forearm. Okay, so with that in mind, we can kind of do a similar one to that, where we're just going to put our hand down now instead. And we're going to do the same thing, just kind of pull our fingers down to the ground a little bit. And again, you'll feel some stretching right here, right at the top of your forearm. Okay, do the same thing right here. Let your fingers just kind of dangle there. Then pull back. And again, you'll feel the stretch right there. So our first one again, like this, and then like that. All right, last one we're going to do is just a stretch of our thumbs. Now, the thumbs are used quite a bit, which is why it's important to make sure that we get a good stretch there. You might not use it as much with your picking hand. If you are doing finger picking and stuff like that, you'll probably end up using it. It's more for your fretting hand. Your thumb is just doing a lot and there's a lot of tension on your thumb. So you want to make sure that you're getting a good stretch. Now typically, like what I like to do is just kind of place my hand out like that and then just grab my thumb, you just kind of hook it with your other thumb and just stretch it down, like just point down towards the floor. It kind of looks like the Happy Hands Club. So we're just taking our hand, using our other thumb, just hook it around and just pull it down. And again, not too much, just enough to feel a stretch. And then you can do the same with your opposite hand as well. Again, about 15 seconds per stretch. Don't overdo it, but just do it enough so that you know that you're feeling a little bit of a stretch, so that you are prepared and ready to go for your practice session, for your jam session, for your performance, whatever it is that you're doing, that your hands are nice and loose and ready to rock. All right, hopefully some of those warm-ups helped. I'll see you again for another lesson very soon.